Barati pays coin to feed the great eel.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides, while you are casting your blame in a wide net. Why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. Keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawn Star Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Gantanichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take two Valians at their word.
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hisongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Permed Gongswalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew. Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Oh, good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hisongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. And take care with your trading company spies.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. Let's speak. While we have the chance.
Leave it to me.
Your coming is a favorable omen already. Nonsense. How else do the gods whisper in our ear? You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena, not the court. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked. Ikera, to patch a hull or stitch a sail is costly when supplies come from distant islands. The city has honest work for those in need, I say, and insists that everyone carry a heavy purse. I am Onekaza's shield. For a time, Let it suffice that we speak with the same authority. My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. You have some knowledge of Nekataka already. They say you have explored the city beneath the city. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Raparu for their silence? How do they avoid the inspectors? Who is responsible? This cannot have gone unseen by all. Undercroft, a darker, more fetid layer of Nekataka, I say. Onikaza and I are the mind and heart of the city, but the bowels, these we cannot reach. At least Delver's Row is a stable target. The Crown has time to decide the next steps. What say? You hit upon my curiosity. Speak on. You are quick to come to their defense, but the Raparu must recall their place in society. If the black market will expend its resources toward the Raparu, then I say they have bought an easy truce. Delver's Row is safe, for now. Be sure that I do not regret this. I had my suspicions, but I had no wish to see them confirmed. When it comes to the dignity of the guild, the Crown can compromise nothing. Onikaza will see their leadership disciplined, I say. Akira, I cannot. Onikaza and I both expect more from the guild, I say. She will not be pleased. Akira, but at least you returned to me in one piece. You are not the first agent I sent to the gullet, but you are the first to return. I say I would feel safe anywhere with Rauatai's sharpest weapon in my arsenal.
If you're trying to flatter me, stop taking notes from my brother the poet.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the gullet, but... Does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you? Ikera, then the city's bowel hides more than I credit. Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the Deadfire. That is the story. Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo. I do not share this lightly, I say.
Please, speak on. If it looks like I'm taking notes, it's because I am.
Should I leave this in the hands of someone I trust instead?
All the same, I'm not above a good faith gesture.
Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo, and the knowledge that we must return. To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say. I sent an expedition to Matario Kozi, one of the Sanctuary Isles. They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return. They were sites where our ancestors grouped in terms of crisis, constants in changing seas. You have the cartographer Atepo to thank. He wanders the Western Shrine if you would know more. The Sanctuary Isles give comfort and guidance to sailors on the long journey home. I am hoping the island can remember its purpose and return us to the home we lost. The question for those with years to gather reeds and scribe their thoughts. It might be that someone or something on the island does not wish to be found. In better times than these, I would have been happy to oblige. The trading companies would not have thought to look for Matario Kosi, but now they are vultures to carrion. I do not doubt that our rivals race for the same thing, all while we follow behind. Ikira, then you are ready to depart? Before you go,
That did seem like too nice a way to end it.
the expedition, I have reason to believe they will not be returning to Nekataka. We found this at the palace doorstep, cut from the robe of the expedition leader. One mystery heaped on another, I say. If you learn in your travels, I hope you will tell me. The crown has grown too accustomed to warnings, I say. I suspected this, as you say. Take care if you alight on Matario Kosi. My fear is that the island is sanctuary no more. Prepare yourself for a hard voyage northeast of Nekataka. Matario Kosi is nestled in the Kua Rokuhu Islands, in the midst of a landmass that resembles a storm, like the fall of Ukaizo locked in time.
Don't mind me as I take down those coordinates.
Hey, Cap. He reminded me to drop anchor at the next brothel we pass. Some things I aim to be giving a try before you go getting us all good and killed.
Yeah, can do.
An old salt swaggers in with a ship's wheel sticking out of his pants.
It's driving him nuts.
New swabby be asking a first mate. Do galleys like this be sinking often?
Usually it's just the once. Even Ishi knows that one.
Oh, gods, lass, you be no fun at all.
I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. Uncomplicated. Just the way I like it. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, birdie. Hey, birdie.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. Life at sea. It does have a way of simplifying things down to the bare elements. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sort it out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours. Ask me again when I'm wearing the big hat. That'll be a different Maya. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain. I've got some answers. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they emigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious. You're telling me. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rawatai's expansion. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. More than his sister ever could be. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. No? As his sister, I'm supposed to catalog his missteps. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain.
Just say I'm on it. clear white streets and inlets fine. Hurrah for the Deadfire lines! Oh, they're the lines where you can shine. Tell me way, hey, hooroo, ya! Oh, they're the lines where I spit with crime. Hurrah for the Deadfire lines! Just take a trip to Port Magie. Tell me way, hey, hooroo!
Yeah? Leave it to me.
Is there anything the Watcher does not see? We have both seen the worst of the city. How the Reparu cluster like sea rats. Delver's Row will take care of them for a time, but I say the Crown will not suffer the Principe for long. How did the stone walls and paved lanes of Neketaka divide us so? You have walked the length of Neketaka's spine. How would you serve the needs of all these people at once? Akera, a practical solution, and one open to change. I was hard-pressed to find insight like yours in Pariki's Overlook. You have questions? Akera, I have answers. And between the Crown and the Guild, Neketaka has high hopes for Ngati's chosen son, I say. If Ngati had not blessed me, I say the goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island. If people need hope, they should pray harder, or look to their own grindstone. I say there is me, Tekehu, and there is the Tekehu others would make like a coconut husk doll. The more I try to be the Tekehu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say? But it is the adoring people who made Tekehu the savior of the tribes. Many think that I have a duty to the Huana. I say I am the only one unconvinced. Akera, just so. I know how I seem. We did not have this word, conceded, before Adirans landed on the Isles. If Ngati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care.
Poor boy. He has it backward, as usual. I did not choose him so that he could do great things. I chose him because talent should be fostered toward any end. How fortunate that you are here to set him on the right path. I know you won't disappoint.
Apologies. I say I never miss an opportunity to talk about myself. You have questions? Akera, I have answers. Ngati spoke to you. Ha! To leave her son guessing. This is my tricksome mother through and through. What mother doesn't? You must be special indeed for Ngati to speak with words. For her people, she lays out cryptic stepping stones hidden in omens. Kara, but send her my fondest wishes. The Kahunga are my tribe, but my people settled on Atua, an island too modest to deserve the attention of maps. My mortal mother tans boar hides. My father trades in the abundance of pearls and opals Atua is blessed to provide. When I was born, father called me his blue topaz boy. Doubtless, I say, but I am the most precious gem of recent history. Godlike are revered as bringers of local change, but only Ngati's chosen is thought to deliver an omen for all Huana at once. Ikera, high winds stirred the vigor of the seas. 2 huts collapsed before our local storm speaker could shout down the weather. They say the skies only cleared when I fell into the midwife's basket. Peace had returned to the island, or so the Mataru predicted. Oh, I could not be kept from the water, so my father taught me how to dive for pearls and azada snails. Ngati filled my palms with riches on every harvest, I say. When I came of an age to begin a man's pursuits, the Mataru reached out to the Kahunga Queen, weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory. The Queen could not invite Ngati's chosen into the Water Shapers Guild fast enough. In hard times, the endorsement of a goddess is more valuable than currency. Akara, speak on. Ah, the art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Ngati to her chosen people. Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Ngati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping. Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, our bodies are not water. Ikera, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test. The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say. Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Ikera? The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, I say. Ah, it is only by force of habit that I omit the final form. We do not speak of it in the guild. The form of transcendence. Only a story, I say. Even crafty Periki could not commit this ancient form to her scrolls. It was said that our ancestors could shape the very oceans of the Deadfire. This was Ngati's true gift, but we have yet to recover it from the ruins of our past. Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, the body, the art is a
Agrasima, Casita, for taking me on.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
I should come clean about something, Captain. Atsura didn't set me loose just so I could stay busy. Fact of the matter is, he gave me a job to do. I've got this stack of missives I need to deliver. Noble errand, right? The company has a lot of people working away from headquarters, and Atsura trusted me to get these in the right hands. I hope that isn't a problem. A bit of everything. Shipping manifests, requisitions for supplies, work orders. Mostly work orders. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork it takes to run a navy. Don't take it personally if I'm vague on some of the details. Atsura likes his discretion, even when it comes to boring bureaucratic stuff. The second that I need you to worry, you'll know. Count on it. Pew pew. This one's bound for Harama, and acquaintance. Good sailor. He's somewhere off in Tikawara. And these are for Tuaha, an old friend stationed in Port Mage. You meet some strange types in the Navy. I've got some answers.
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see. This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple. Tell me what's on your mind? They're there in my head when I sleep. And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul. I'm glad we talked.
Here we are again, Watcher. I thought we had seen the last of each other after the Hollowborn crisis. I must admit, accompanying you to Twin Elms worked out well for both of us. Fair enough, Watcher. We can't always get what we hope for, even when we do our best. You only have to ask. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's Bells. The trade agreement we brokered with the Unamenfath was quite lucrative for the Republics. The Deerwood was still recovering from Waidwin's legacy, and was in no position to compete. The Duke's Bells was so pleased with my performance that I was made the personal guard of the Duquess Spirento. Spirento is the most beautiful of all the Republics. And though I should not admit this, I cherish the Duquess above all other Duke's Bells. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. The fruit of victory was not so sweet, knowing that the Deerwood suffered because of my actions. Whatever they are up to cannot be good for any of us. At their best, the gods are powerful children. At worst, they are little more than mad beasts taking out their anger on our world. I have little interest in distinguishing which type Eothas is. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me, but I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior, but her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well. Good. I have no concerns, Watcher.
Is anyone seeing to your schooling, Vela?
I'm learning lots. Which side of the boat is good for fishing? Which side is good for puking when Uncle Engram's had too much ale?
I know that look. One would hardly imagine that a colossus made of glowing Ardra could be so hard to find. But then I suppose the gods wouldn't have chosen you if the task were easy. Well, they seem largely competent. I would feel better about that were they not run by profiteers and animancers. Well, Governor Clario seemed honest and well-intentioned. So one wonders why he was stationed at such an out-of-the-way post. I'd heard Deadfire had a pirate problem, but I had no idea how large it was. Or how fashionable. Still, the only thing more dangerous than a unified pirate nation is one at war with itself. I worry about who will be caught in their crossfire. I think they're one of the most ordered and deliberate organizations I've ever seen. And I don't entirely trust that. Not after the leaden key. As a matter of fact, I did. I saw my mother for the first time in years. She was well. She'd been living with her Thane for quite some time. I don't think she'd been to see my father since I left. I used to blame her for her long absences, for not intervening directly with my father. He was an exacting man with a violent temper, one that often found its outlet in me. It was decades ago now. I'm just pleased I could come to a better understanding with my mother. I realized that she was torn between two demanding roles, and two demanding men. I used to resent her for failing to protect me. Intentionally or not, she gave me the space I needed to learn a degree of independence. Thank you. It felt good to resolve that much. It's one thing to forgive my mother for her absence. Quite another to excuse him. My father was steward to an earl in the Seathwood. My mother entered into a hamleg with a Thane when I was very young. I think they must have loved each other once, but I recall little evidence of it. It was. It's been a while since I've been able to speak candidly with anyone, especially about the leaden key. It's unexpectedly liberating.
What's on your mind?
Not a problem.
My lord, what do you require?